One minute it feels like the crypto bull run is absolutely back on. And the next, it feels like the floor is about to just drop out from under us. That tension is exactly what's gripping the market right now. We've got these classic bearish patterns flashing major warning signs, but at the very same time, there might be a massive new wave of capital getting ready to hit. So let's try to cut through all that noise and see what Ethereum's own history can tell us about what's coming next.
So this is the big question, right? This is what everyone's wrestling with. Are we at the start of a much deeper correction, or is this just the quiet before an absolute storm of new capital floods the system? To even begin to figure that out, we really need to unpack two powerful and frankly competing narratives that are playing out right now. All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to zoom all the way out and look at the big picture, a potential liquidity tsunami that's unlike anything we've ever seen before. Then we'll zoom way in on Ethereum's unique DNA, its wild history of these shocking V-shaped recoveries. We'll look at the technical signals that are flashing bottom as we speak. But then, and this is important, we have to introduce a counterpoint, a pretty serious warning sign coming from Bitcoin. And finally, we'll put it all together to understand this incredible tug of war that is probably going to define the next chapter for crypto.
Okay, let's kick things off with the macro force that could honestly change everything. According to investor Raoul Pal, the next multi-trillion-dollar liquidity wave isn't coming from where we're used to. It's not coming from central banks printing money. Nope. It's being generated by the single biggest tech revolution we've seen since the internet, AI. And the way this capital is getting deployed is totally different this time. This is such a crucial shift in strategy. I mean, think about it. After years of direct money printing that, led to all this inflation, Powell argues that governments are now using a much more subtle tool. Instead of the Fed or the ECB creating money from thin air, they're changing the rules to empower the commercial banking system to dramatically expand credit and lending. It's a quieter way to do it, but it could be an even more powerful way to pump capital into the economy. So here's how this whole AI liquidity engine is supposed to work. First, just building out the global AI infrastructure, we're talking massive data centers, new chip factories, the whole shebang. It's going to take trillions of dollars. Governments just can't foot that bill alone. So that brings us to step 3. They create incentives for private banks to fill that funding gap. And this is the real kicker. That new lending, that massive expansion of private credit, it doesn't just stay in the AI sector. It floods the entire financial system, creating a new liquidity wave that, historically, looks for a home in high growth, risk-on assets, and that means crypto.
And really, this isn't just another temporary stimulus package. We're talking about a structural repair and a major upgrade to the global financial plumbing. We're already seeing a kind of proof of concept for this in places like Japan. I mean, for decades, their economy has just been stagnant, but now their government is actively pushing its banking system to start lending aggressively again, specifically to fund this next wave of tech investment. It's basically a blueprint for what could happen everywhere else.
Okay, so keep that idea of a coming liquidity wave in your head, because when we switch our focus from that huge macro picture to Ethereum's own price history, we see a pattern that could be, well, pretty explosive when you combine it with new capital. See, after big sell-offs, Ethereum doesn't just slowly grind its way back. It tends to do something very, very different. Eight separate times. Let that sink in for a second. According to analysis from Tom Lee, across 8 major declines of 50% or more, Ethereum didn't form some slow, rounded bottom. It staged a sharp, fast, V-shaped recovery that honestly left most people just standing on the sidelines. That is a remarkably consistent personality for an asset to have. And here's the key takeaway from Lee's analysis. If that historical pattern holds true again, the recovery could happen much faster than the decline did. He points out it took about 4 months for the price to fall this time, but history suggests it could take less than 5 months to get all of those losses back. And that's absolutely critical, because it means the window of opportunity to buy in at these lower prices could be surprisingly short. This might be the most important psychological point of this entire thing. Market bottoms don't happen when the news is great and everyone's bullish. They form in the depths of pessimism, when everybody's expecting the absolute worst, but the price just stops. It refuses to go any lower. It's that moment when the market absorbs wave after wave of bad news and just doesn't flinch. That's often the real signal that a shift is underway.
So, beyond that V-shaped history, what's the actual data telling us? Is there any real-time evidence suggesting we might be at or near one of those bottoms right now? Let's look at a few key on-chain signals that analysts are pointing to as proof.
So first, we need to understand this really powerful metric called realized price.
The easiest way to think of it is like the collective break-even point for the entire Ethereum network. By looking at the blockchain, we can figure out the average price that every single person paid for their ETH. It's a really fundamental way to measure the market's cost basis. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. At the absolute bottom, back in 2022, the market price fell to a 39% discount compared to that average cost basis, which means the average holder was deep in the red. During another big reset in 2023, it hit a 21% discount. Well, right now, we are sitting at a 22% discount. This shows we are right back in that same zone of, frankly, maximum pain, which is a zone that has historically been an incredible opportunity to accumulate right before the next major leg up. And if that on-chain data isn't compelling enough for you, check this out. Analysis from market timer Tom DeMark shows that Ethereum's recent price action has a jaw-dropping 93% correlation to the structure of the S&P 500's historic generational bottoms in 1987 and 2011. I mean, when a modern digital assets chart rhymes that closely with two of the most significant recoveries in stock market history, you really have to sit up and pay attention.
But it's not all clear skies and V-shaped recoveries. To get a really balanced picture here, we have to look at the market leader, at Bitcoin. And right now, its chart is painting a much more cautious and, potentially bearish picture that has a lot of traders on high alert. So this is where the conflict comes in. Several technical analysts have pointed out what's known as a bear flag on Bitcoin's chart. Now, this is a classic pattern. You get a sharp drop, and it's followed by this weak kind of drifting consolidation upwards. Statistically, this pattern has a really high probability of resolving with another sharp move to the downside. Gareth Soloway frames this whole conflict perfectly. If you look at the micro view, you see this short-term upward drift, and day-to-day that feels bullish. But when you zoom out to the macro view, you see this huge, overarching bear flag, and that creates a major dilemma for traders. Do you bet on the immediate upward momentum, or do you respect the really serious warning sign that's forming on the larger time frame? And this brings us right to the heart of the whole debate in the market today. We have this massive, fundamental macro force, this potential tsunami of new liquidity, clashing head-on with a classic textbook bearish pattern on the charts. It is a true heavyweight fight. So let's just lay it all out. On one side, you've got the bullish case. It's fundamental, it's forward-looking. You've got a new wave of liquidity coming, driven by the AI revolution. And that's meeting Ethereum's own distinct history of these violent, V-shaped recoveries from these exact kinds of levels. But on the other side, you've got the cautious case, which is purely technical, and it's happening right now. Bitcoin's chart is forming a textbook bear flag that is basically screaming danger ahead. And so that leaves us with one final and I think fascinating question to think about. We've got a powerful new economic force, this AI-driven credit expansion, and it's colliding with a well-established old-school market pattern. The entire direction of the market from here might just depend on which one of these powerful forces gives way first.